Good evening. Coming to a full and complete stop at this stop sign. We are going to be heading out. Let's see, what time is it? It's about 5:53. Not about, it is 5:53. And going to be doing a North River Road-ish route. This is a common running route that I do. It usually concludes at about 4.5-5 miles. But this time of day, around sunset, you get some really nice views over, two different farms. Sunnydale, I think it is, off the top of my head, I can't remember. And then the other one being, I'm completely drawing a blank. Oh man. Wow. I cannot remember the name of the farm there on North River Road. It's honestly a little bit more of a farm stand than a farm. Anyways, I gotta focus here. I'm coming in up on North River. I'm on this sidewalk. I don't want to be, but I didn't want to merge right at that very convoluted section. And we're gonna get up to speed here so we don't upset any drivers, which is very difficult to do. It's very easy to upset them. It's very difficult not to upset them. Being on a bike, being alive on a bike is deeply upsetting to a lot of motorists, if you will. Tromley's, that's the name of it, Tromley's Farm. We will be coming back on Tromley's, but we're gonna pass that, I believe it's Sunnydale. I don't know why I can't think of that name either. It's been in a lot of my videos because, like I said, it's a common running route for me. So, anyways, this is the first real ride of the season for me. So, I don't want to go too hard or too long because I deeply expect there to be some saddle sores that have to settle in. In previous seasons, summers, I've done a lot of cycling, stationary biking during the winter. So essentially my butt's conditioned for the seat. But I have had no time in any sort of saddle in a couple years now, like a full calendar year, probably almost 2 full calendar years since I've ridden this bike. So, I expect to be hurting. Also my legs, I'm sure. Well, anyways, we got back from Disney World. A lot of good memes regarding how long we were staying there. We were there a very long time. We were there 11 days total, if you include off days and travel days. We spent a total of 8 days in the park, which was, I think, 2 or 3 days longer than we normally stay. We usually stay 5 or 6 days, we usually do 5 or 6 park days with 1 or 2 off days. But this year, Samantha and her family and myself wanted to try staying a little bit longer because a lot of the cost for any vacation now is the airfare. So there's a little part of you that's like, well, you're already paying the money to fly out there. Why not stay the extra day or two? And the way Disney is organized, the way their packaging is structured, the days are super cheap. The park tickets are super cheap. So for the 3 of us, per park ticket was about $85 for those last 2 days. So the less days you stay, the more days or the more expensive the tickets are. But the more days you stay, the less expensive each individual day gets. So it's kind of not really saving money. Like, you're not saving money by staying more days, but if you're already staying 7 days, an extra 1 or 2 does not move the needle in the grand scheme of things of a giant vacation such as Disney World. So that's part of it. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I married into a Disney family. I love Disney World myself. We didn't necessarily intentionally go like every year for the last 5 years, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But that was probably it. I don't think we're gonna go again for some time. But Disney World, if you've never been, I do recommend everybody goes at least once in their life, because it is a wonder of the world. It's a city in itself. It's a true, it's a true corporate city, true corporate town. It's the size of San Francisco in terms of land area, and has a transportation infrastructure that is as, if not far more impressive than most American cities that you can go visit. Not necessarily because of its scale, while its transportation scale is really impressive, but the efficiency and the singularity of it, because the operation of the parks really relies on a very fluid and seamless transportation operation. Because there's pretty much a little bit of something operating there. You can take a gondola to and from the parks. You can take a bus. You can take a steamboat. You can take a monorail. And those systems, each one of them operates at its own unique efficiency and scale. So the most impressive one is their bus. Their bus system, they have a fleet of about 590 buses, and they travel more than 1,000 bus routes per day. And they transport about 70 million people a year. So Disney World gets a visitation amount of about 93 to, I think it's like 95 to 100 million visitors a year to Disney World. And so the vast majority of them are not arriving with a car. So they are relying on these transportation systems. And there's so many hotel resorts and so many different restaurants and parks and things that have its own dedicated bus route. So, like I said, I don't think you need to be a Disney person to at least go for a couple days and check it out. Yeah, I maintain that. I maintain that because I think a lot of people, Kurtview Farms, not Sunnydale, Kurtview, this little farm right here. Beautiful, cute, love it. Yeah, I don't know. I've talked about this at nauseum in the past. I'm not a deep defender of Disney World. I think there are so many valid criticisms of both Disney World as a vacation experience and Disney as a corporation. I hold and share many of those same criticisms deeply. But I always encourage people to try and take it for what it's worth. To try to appreciate it objectively, because yeah, it's something to behold. All right, I gotta hit this hill. Hold on. But the experience of Disney, I kept saying this was kind of my motto of this trip, was Disney is as much fun as it is a test of patience. And that goes for all ages and all kinds of patience. That goes for a patience such as standing in line, patience with the people around you, patience with the workers, patience with yourself. It's very hot most of the year, and it's very demanding. It's very demanding even to children who are having a time of their life. It's an absolute, what am I trying to say? It's an absolute stimulation, like sensory overload. That's what I was trying to think of. It's an absolute sensory overload. And so kids get tired earlier, parents get tired earlier, people have a shorter patience in these moments between what I think are really fun. I mean, you're having experiences on these rides, in my opinion, that you can't have anywhere else. And what I mean by that is like Mission to Mars, Orange Mission, Centrifuge. I mean, there's just nowhere else you can go and subject yourselves to those sort of G-forces. Maybe Turkish Twist and Canterbury Lake Park, but there's a lot of immersion that you just can't find anywhere else. So when the highs are high and the lows are very low, and I think that's what makes it so divisive. But the other reason that I think it's worth visiting, and maybe this doesn't justify the cost, but it's a nice byproduct, is I find Disney World to be an almost philosophical, spiritual event, just because you get such an incredible. I'm about to bust at Yui in this intersection. I'm about to bust at Yui. You're getting such a unique sampling of the Earth's population. You get people from all different socioeconomic backgrounds, different cultures, languages, family setups, and it reflects something truly interesting in each person, whether, just in terms of consumption and branding, marketing, identity, nostalgia, manipulation, family structures, expression of self and love and, relationships. All of those things are being displayed in such intensity because of the environment that they're existing in, which is this very fabricated, controlled experience where you get people who come from all different places and have all different experiences and backgrounds, and you're getting them to do all the same things. Everybody has to ride the same bus. Everybody has to walk the same main street. Everybody's paying the same price for food. And, going on the same rides. They're seeing the same, if I can give you an example, someone from the United States seeing Mickey Mouse, or someone from Japan or Mongolia seeing Mickey Mouse, elicit two different reactions, and those reactions are very beholden to the way that their culture has interpreted the media, the way that the Disney Corporation has chosen to sell them said media and said icons, I don't know, there's a better word for that, but I don't know how to describe it other than it's truly interesting. I don't know. I have very dystopic moments walking around those theme parks where I see huge wealth disparity gaps, huge gaps in the way people raise their children, both good and bad, different. But overall, I think what bums me out a little bit is just the consumption. It's an absolute, bastardization of what basic capitalism is. It's the extreme of what capitalism can become, where you're living in an environment, even if it's just for a week, you're living in an environment that is fully controlled and curated by a multinational conglomerate, media conglomerate. So, anyways, not to get all pseudo-philosophical, but it's cool. Highly recommend it. Check it out. Disney World, disneyworld.com/Keller on a bike to get your 10% discount on all things tickets, airfare, and lodging. Be sure to use code saddle sores at checkout. We're on the backside here of Ticktown. No, we're on the backside here of Tromley's. And this is open to the public, this section I'm on here. I'm not trespassing, I promise. I don't know if it's an easement or just a friendly agreement, but this is part of the Souhegan River Trail, I believe it's called, Riverwalk Trail. This will plug into, eventually, the Milford Sports Complex field, whatever they call that, I forget. But this is a really beautiful place to run in the summer if you're looking for something that's not on the trails. On the roads, excuse me. I find it to just be a pleasant, I don't know, it's just quiet. And you can dodge the hairpin turn on North River Road that is death-defying. Unfortunately, this part of the trail is not accessible in the winter, which is where that hairpin becomes the most deadly, the most death-defying. Ooh. Ooh. Oh gosh, almost lost my speed there on the bridge. Cut through the. Oh, I'm in way too low of a gear here. I need to be down a couple clicks here. You know what? Let's do this. Oh. Whew, a little early in the season to feel comfortable doing that on such a tight bridge. Okay. And then here we are. Sometimes you pop out of here and there's like a whole softball game happening. You're like, oh, excuse me. Gonna get the heavy breathing as we pump it through the grass here. This is where my son played soccer this last fall, and it was very cute. Definitely the beginning of a real dad lifestyle. As I was sitting out there in the chairs thinking, oh man, I have a whole life of sporting events to attend here. I'm not really into sports like that. I'm just not a team, never been a team sports guy. Some would say that's because I'm not a team player, and some might be right. But yeah, just always lacked the coordination for that kind of stuff. I used to play football for 3 years of high school, and then 2 years in middle school. Or no, I'm sorry, 1 year of high school, 3 years of middle school. So 4 total years of football. And yeah, I pretty much hated it. I liked watching football. I really loved watching basketball for a hot minute. But once I got to college, I didn't have cable anymore. And this was, prior to the ubiquity of streaming, especially streaming sports. I argue we don't even have that yet, but I just lost track of the players and the games and the teams and who was good. And never had any interest in going back. And for some reason, once I got out of the sports culture, I have a hard time taking it seriously, because the people who are into sports take it so seriously, which is good for them, whatever. But anyways, long story short, my son just happens to be super competitive and has such an interest in sports at this time. I'm just thinking I got a lot of games to go watch, but I'll be into it with him. My problem is I am a hair competitive, and so there's a world where I could become very competitive on my child's behalf at these games. It's definitely a more than 0% possibility. I could just become a dad yelling at a ref. No, I don't think I'd ever. Yeah, it's possible. Well, the weather is just stunning and gorgeous. I'll tell you what was a big bummer. I don't remember if I said this in my video last night, but I got this bike tuned up a couple weeks ago, right before we went to Toledo. And previously I would just store it on the porch. But one, someone's gonna steal it. Two, we have so many kids' toys up there that my bike is already hard enough to get around up there and to walk around up there. Let's see if I can make this turn here. Gotta merge into traffic, become one with cars. I am now a motor vehicle. Signal here. Yeah, putting my bike up on the porch is just ridiculous. So I was like, well, I don't really have another great covered area to store it. So I got just a bike cover, like a tarp, waterproof, weatherproof tarp, essentially. Put it under there. But then we got home and the tarp had completely blown off. So my bike had just been sitting in the rain for presumably X amount of days, which is not good for a bike or its chain. But good news is it seems to be riding smooth and shifting smooth. The brakes are squeaky, but the brakes have been squeaky ever since I bought it. Lap 1, there's no way. That was 1 mile. Impossible. I will not have that. I will not believe that. Okay, well, this concludes tonight's bike ride. Thanks so much for tuning in. I know this was kind of a long one. I don't think I usually do them this long, but testing out some new summer formats because while I will still be doing running, I don't know, I'm just burned out on the running videos. And yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. This is something worth your time. I hope you're at least second screening this video. My God. If you're just sitting, staring at your phone or your computer while listening to me yap and breathe heavily, you got another thing coming. See, these people are gonna let me go. Okay. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.